And big boy, big sauce. Look at the energy. It's contagious, not just to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix fans, but also NBL overtime now, because Liam and I and Corey earlier in the off-season, we said we need someone to come in with big energy and big hair. And we got Alan Williams in the house. Hello, buddy.
I'm here, man. I'm excited to be here with you guys. No, I've definitely watched the show a lot, and it's just a true honor to be here as a player rep for the overtime show.
Oh, good.
How you feeling, man? How's the body? How's the injury? How you tracking?
I'm getting there. Surgery went well. I'm ahead of schedule, I'd say, for sure, playing and feeling a lot better day by day, and just really excited to get back out there on the court with my guys. So.
You know what I'm excited about with this team? And I'm not just saying this because you're bigger than me and you're sitting next to me, but I am really. To bring back the two imports from last year, you gain that chemistry. I was at a football game with Tommy Greer, and he said to me, we're thinking about bringing back the point guard. I said, that's a great idea because he knows how to get Mitch Creek the ball. He knows how to get you the ball. And then you add Cummings with that, with Mitch Creek and these guys. And then you got the kid coming off the bench. What's his name? The Ayers. I just love his confidence.
There's only one of them.
There's only one of them. I love his confidence. Air. I love his confidence.
Yeah.
And so when you put that all together, you got to give him a chance, man. You know?
Yeah, let's have a look at the roster, Sauce. What do you think about this group? Obviously, coming off a season, your first season in the NBL didn't quite make the finals. A change of coach, Mike Kelly comes in, and this is the group you got to work with this season.
I like it. I think we have a lot of depth. I think we returned a good part of the group in terms of myself, Gary Brown, Mitch Creek, Ruben Tarangi coming back. But we brought in some new pieces. A guy like Ben Ayer who can come off the bench and score really well. A guy like Matt Kenyon who's known for that Tazzy tenacity that you see on the defensive end. And then a guy like Craig Moeller who has had success in the NBL, coming off of injury now, looks phenomenally healthy. And I'm just really excited to put all those pieces together. And then not to mention, cannot forget, Tyler Cook coming in now while I'm recovering and getting back and just being a dominant force in this league.
We talk a little bit about consistency and teams staying together, right? So in your situation, you roll on into the NBL. When you first come to the league, what were you expecting from yourself? Were you like, hey, I'm one, I want to try and get back to the NBA, I want to springboard, or you're here and like, this is a place. How does your mindset change since you first arrived in Australia prior to last season?
Yeah, coming into it, I had known about the NBL. I didn't know about the true buzz behind it, but I know there was quality players. A friend of mine, James Ennis, came over here and played for the Perth Wildcats, won a championship. I saw how that Red Army kind of got around him and the fan support that was kind of there. So I saw it as an opportunity for me to continue my game and continue my career in a place that I haven't got a chance to touch. And I did think going into it would be a one-year thing, but I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the environment.
Did you have other options up there?
Somebody who has played as long as I've played at the level that I've played, I always have options.
Good.
So
What brought you back?
That's not to sound crazy or anything like that, but I put a lot of work in, and I'm very confident in my game. And so I think the biggest thing was, one, getting a chance to play with a guy like Mitch Creek. I think one of the best players in the NBL. I don't think there's any question about that. Could have easily won the MVP last year.
Absolutely.
Coming back and understanding, working with Tommy and being familiar with the area, it just made sense for myself and my family to be able to come back here on a consistent basis and just continue to grow myself and the game here.
We love having you back, Sauce. We love having you in the league. One of the best rebounders in the world.
Yeah.
Period.
Period. And also just your personality, man. And the way you've embraced the league, the country. Like, I'm going to get you involved in helping recruit some of these next stars because you do a great job speaking up the whole thing. One of the most intriguing elements of your team coming into the start of the season is your injury and Tyler Cook being into the mix. Now, we got a good look at him at the Blitz, and he's a monster. How are you feeling about all of that?
I love it. It gives the team the best opportunity to win at the end of the day. Bringing in somebody as quick as we were able to. Shout out goes to the agencies behind it and our team staff as well. Getting that handled so quickly with a player of his caliber. How fortunate are we? Not only as the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, but as the NBL to see a player of his caliber come in and dominate for as long as it may be. So I think it puts us in a position to start off really well at the beginning of the season and allow him to continue to eat and kill, and then I could just come back into the fold and hopefully continue the progress as we go. So.
Did you know anything about Mike Kelly before this year?
I only knew of Mike from playing against him with the Perth Wildcats, and he was on the bench there, but always seemed like a really good guy. And then the stuff that I heard about him, once I heard that he was in the mix and asking questions, just showed that he was a player's coach first and foremost, and somebody who will come in and try to change and continue to take this group to the next level. So,
as you know, Liam is the GM of the Next Stars, and we've got a great crew this year when it comes to Next Stars, and the program continues to go next level each and every year. I want to touch on Alex Sarr, because you played in the NBA, you've played right across the world, and you are able to see probably firsthand what it takes to go from a particular young age, a particular talent, and all the potential to make it to wherever they want to go. Firstly, the league. It's a perfect spot to be able to hone your skills in a tough league, right? And then go to whatever level it will be. And secondly, impressed with this young man?
Extremely impressed. First and foremost, shout out Liam. Well done. This group of Next Stars is truly special, just with the sheer talent across the board. A guy like Alex Sarr who can mix it up, shoot it from outside, defensive monster on the inside. I think he's everything that NBA franchises are looking for in a big of his caliber. Young, athletic, a lot to learn, can still put on some more onto his frame, but seems like he's nimble and moves well enough to be able to guard multiple positions. So I think it's a big time thing for the NBL to have a player like him here for our exposure, but also a chance for him to learn and play against grown men before he steps onto the NBA stage.
I'm interested in your player perspective on this, because we just saw the highlights of him just absolutely exploding in that G League Invitational against Ignite in Las Vegas. 48-minute game, NBA style rules, right? Like the extended 3-point lane, no defensive 3 seconds. There was a lot of that kind of worked really nicely for him, and he was able to showcase, hey, this is what I'm going to look like at the NBA level.
Right.
When you draft me into 2024 draft. But now he's going to come into the NBL, where the spacing is a little different, the rules are a little different.
I'm going to touch him.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to touch him.
Yeah, you're going to get physical with him.
seriously.
Guys are going to make it tough. Yeah. I already saw at the Blitz, the breakers were really focused on clearing him out as a weak side shot blocker. When guys were driving the lane, Dave Pinot was like, you're not getting across there.
Right.
What's your perspective on what he was able to do there compared to what he's about to start to experience?
It's going to look different. So I don't think Perth Wildcat fans should expect to see that kind of thing that he was able to do with the G League Ignite on a consistent basis, just because in this league, in a FIBA system, in a 40-minute game, it's very difficult to do.
Right.
Now, he's extremely talented, and with that group around him, a guy that's been in the league for a long time like Bryce Cotton, a guy like Keanu Pender who's had success in this league at that position, is going to be really big and beneficial for him to be able to figure out how to play in the NBL. But in terms of his NBA stuff, he was born with it. He's naturally gifted and naturally has this NBA frame. And so, again, really exciting for the NBL to have a player like him as well as the other great Next Stars that we have here.
With that small frame, going to the NBA, can he play the wing? Would he be a 3-4? Durant-style shooter?
I think he can be whatever you want to play him as. You can play him as a 5 as he gets a bit stronger, but he does, and the handle needs to improve if he's going to play at the 3, I feel. But you can slide him to the 4. The shooting, the handle, all of that is there, but needs to get to another level. There's so much room for growth with this kid.
And that's what they draft in the NBA nowadays. That's what they draft.
Now you know why Liam didn't sleep for 3 days waiting for the confirmation, and that's why, because he's in a conversation already as a #1 pick. Now, 2 things before we get out of here. We'll start with your big call, because I like you. You fitted straight into the NBL overtime crew, because we used to come in here and we change our mind at the last minute and no one knows what is going on. And you have done exactly that. So take it away, man. What's your big call?
First and foremost, I think that the biggest call for myself is putting the pressure on myself.
Yep.
So I'm going to come out and say I'll be the MVP of NBL 24.
That's what I love to see.
I know Creaky's going to be over there like, hey, he's coming at me. But, if we can both push each other to get to that level, I think we'll be really successful with the team. But that comes with winning games, first and foremost. And I truly believe in my team this year, and that we have something special going on in Southeast Melbourne.
I need to ask you quickly.
Love it.
I like it. I like it. It's like when Jock Landale told us They were going to go
were gonna
undefeated.
lose the game, yeah.
I like it. I was sat down at a lunch last week and I was sitting next to a person. I won't name the car dealership he worked for, but he said that he had a relationship with you. And when you first came to Australia, he gave you a car to drive around, but it was too small. And you had to go back because you were driving and your head was on the side the whole time. Is that a true story?
True story. True story.
So what? How long
car.
for? But how long were you driving like this for?
Well, first off, on the other side was already difficult
Yeah,
enough as it was,
imagine.
but not to mention a small car. But usually when I go overseas, the cars are smaller, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of used to it. But I think it was only a couple of days, and I was able to change out to something bigger.
That's when you had that neck soreness in pre-season.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, no, I
Now you
thought so.
remember. Now you remember.
Hey, man, welcome.
Thank you.
NBL Overtime.
Appreciate
Alan
that.
Williams, big source in the house, and we're looking forward to him, a big part of the show going forward.